Good morning, everybody. Awesome. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Where am I here?
Good morning, everyone.
Awesome.
Hi, David. Hi, Shirley.
Good morning. Got the wrong, I gotta change my headsets or something. That's weird.
Okay, I'm setting up over here. Okay, we're live on Facebook now, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with all of you. So welcome. Today we are going to be talking about, go to the beginning here, a social media strategy for every day. So what should I do every single day on social media? So I mentioned last week that we've been going through like a lot of really big topics over the last few months. And so what we're going to start doing is we're going to start revisiting some of the initial ones that we went over, which are some of the most important, and reminding ourselves to like, what should I be doing currently? I don't want it to feel like we're just making you learn more and more and more, but more looking at what should we be doing this week and this month. And that's okay if we revisit some of the same things we've done before, because we're all human. We don't retain something from one training session, and we certainly aren't always implementing it either. Okay, so social media strategy, which I didn't edit all the things on Canva, so on the front page, but that's okay. So I use templates on Canva sometimes happens. Okay, so we're going to be talking today about what to do in a day on social media, because social media needs to be a consistent monthly, weekly, and daily effort. So for those of you that were on the training on Thursday, I know some of you were. If you weren't, I would definitely go check that out. I think it was a really great one. I do right now we're going to continue to do them for, I believe, another like 2 months, and then we're going to take a break from that and just sort of amalgamate some training so you guys don't have so many all of the time. But the past while I have done a training every single month with Ben for the social media studio, and that is the second Thursday, and we do a social media training, and it specifically deals with the social media studio, but there's also a lot of general training there as well. And so what we talked about on Thursday was personal branding and how to really make sure that we show up and share our voice on social media. So I just kind of want to recap some of that with you today, because we are going to talk about it a bit more in depth in terms of, not even in depth, just more like tactical, right? Like, so how does this present? So what we talked about on Thursday was that there's a few different things that we need to be made aware of when we are trying to build a business online, and that our personal brand, or even just the success of our business online, comes down to a combination of expertise and our personality. So expertise and personality. And what I find a lot of people do is they get so hung up on the expertise side. So they, I mentioned on Thursday, a lot of people, if you had a few hours in a day, to put towards your business that was outside of maybe following up with your customers or, things like that, would you be more likely to spend that time reading more or trying to learn more about, let's say, like gut health or hormone health or fat loss, so you could position yourself as more of an expert? Or would you spend more time going live on Facebook and going on Instagram stories and really showing your face? So even just in the chat, put down which one do you think that you may be more inclined to do. Lean into how can I learn more about being an expert? How can I try to learn more information to bring to my customers? Or am I going to show up more and build relationships, like, just go on live, be in my Instagram stories and show my face? Info junkie. Content and learning. I love that, info junkie. Post live video, says Tony. So we got a few different answers, so keep them coming. Showing up more with lives. Amazing, Arlene. I would do number 1, but I need to do number 2, says Martha. And yeah, I think a lot of us, especially at Manatech, really lean into the first one, because this is a company that is backed by so much science. And we know that the products work. We know that they're not just like filled with junk you may see at other companies or in, health food stores or things like that. Why the ingredients are so powerful. And we really, really want to share those. And so what we oftentimes do is we spend all of that time trying to learn more. Now, while that is, of course, an aspect of our business and something we need to do, we need to make sure where that's rooted in. So I have a student that I was actually speaking with this week. I'm just going to mute right now. There we go. I have a student actually that I was speaking to this week that was overly motivated, I would say, to get better at their business and a certain strategy. And so she kept coming to me and asking question after question. And she, kept saying, I don't think I'm doing this well enough. And I want to get better. I want to know more here. And I could tell that she was very focused on this. And her name's Andrea. And I had to say to her, Andrea, what I'm picking up from you right now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, is that your need to learn more and know more isn't necessarily coming from a place of, I'm motivated for growth and I want to serve my customers, but it sounds like it's rooted in fear. I'm not enough. I don't know enough. No one's going to take me seriously. I'm insecure about this. How could I ever build a business at this point, etc. And she actually started to cry because she said, you're right, it's the second one. This is rooted in fear. And so one thing to keep in mind, sometimes in our pursuit of overlearning, it's because we believe we're currently not enough. And what I love about working and partnering with Manatech is that Manatech covers so much of the expertise for you. Our job in the field is to be the lead generator and the relationship builder. Right? And what's important too to recognize, and how we always talk about the business, is everything that we do in person, on social media, is a recruiting seed. Write that down. Everything I do in my business, especially publicly, is a recruiting seed. Right? That's when we can start to alienate people and they go, well, I'm not a naturopath, or I'm not a functional medicine doctor, I'm not a gut health expert, or I'm not, this or that. So I certainly couldn't start a Manatech business because I just can't know enough, right? I don't know enough. I can't learn. I don't have enough time to reach out to people about the business, let alone spend all this time becoming an expert in the health and wellness space. So while a successful business does rely on expertise and personality, the leg you have, above somebody else or ahead, whatever the phrasing is that you have Manatech, who's the expert, right? You can share information from Manatech. You can share information from Dr. Nugent. You can share information in other articles. You can be, we talked about on Thursday about essentially being the middleman, going, I'm certainly not an expert, but I only partner with companies and people who are. And our job is to show up with our personality and share our story. We talked about that 91% of people prefer or are more likely to buy a product that's recommended by a person over a brand. How many of us too are, becoming more and more skeptical of what corporate companies, brands, products say, right? Anyone can run a Facebook ad, anyone can make a claim, right? And it's like, but is that backed by science? We know that Manatech is. And so make sure that you're relying on that. Make sure you're pointing back to that. Not only are you pointing back to an actual credible source that if they check it out, they go, yes, like here are, why Manatech is the expert. You're always making sure you're staying within compliance. You're always making sure that you're saying things that are accurate and true and represent the company. And you're telling a new person, you don't have to know all the ins and outs of this. You just have to know where to find it in Manatech. You just have to share it. You just have to be excited about it. You just have to adopt it into your own lifestyle and share that with other people. So that personality aspect of how I show up in my business every day is incredibly, incredibly important. And we're going to talk about that because that really lends to what do I do in a day on social media? A lot of us may think, even when we talked about the launch, for example, which is still, a brilliant way of launching something. But I think why I haven't really seen any launches happening is, like I said, that overthinking of, but I have to make sure that this is the best information, the best training, the best expertise. Your job is not to fly the plane. Your job is the flight attendant, is to serve the drinks, make sure that they're happy, make sure people are excited, and say, don't worry, the pilot, he's awesome. He's got this. We're safe. Let's have fun. Right? That's our job, is not to fly the plane. We don't need to know the mechanics of how the plane works. We don't have to, be able to take over in that. And we don't have to pretend that we're the ones flying it. We can say, absolutely, I'm not the expert on this, but let me tell you about what Manatech does. Let me tell you what the work they've done. And let me keep you excited about how this is involved in your lifestyle. I want to talk to you about making sure, like, I'm going to cheer you on to get in your water every day. I'm going to cheer you on to set up your supplements in the morning and take them. I'm going to cheer you on to, find new recipes that you love for True Health shakes, right? We're the hostess or the host. That's our real job. It's not to be like the scientist behind the scenes. Right? Because we run into a lot of different things there. And that's too, sometimes when we can get into some murky waters of people go, well, you're saying all this, but what makes you an expert? That's why we always want to make sure that we're in a different role, right? I'm not the expert. I'm sharing information from a credible source, from a reputable company backed by science. And I'm sharing my story about how this has worked for me. And we know, not only, like I said, compliance-wise, but we know statistically that people are more likely to do business with you if you act like you. Last week, we talked about, bringing in our friends and family and how do we talk to them, right? And I used the example of the mop that my mom and my sister and I all bought because my sister bought it and she was over the moon about it and she was sharing it with me and my mom, right? Think about the last time you referred or recommended a product or a place or a restaurant to a friend. You did it what? Naturally, with excitement, and you shared your story. You didn't try to sell the restaurant. You just shared your experience with excitement, which compelled someone into action or evoked an emotion out of them that made them want to take an action. But what happens is, when we go into business mode, we step out of being a human being and we go into this like salesperson robot and we start just putting all this business language out that can really push people further and further away from us. Sometimes we talk people out of the sale, right? We've talked before too about the different color personalities, right? And I believe a lot of you are green personalities that wants to know all the information, like loves learning new things. And in many ways, I can be that myself too. But I'm more of an impulsive shopper and decision maker based on emotion, right? I don't need to know all the details. Even I found that when I first started working with Manitech, and the more that I learned, the more I didn't know how to talk about the business and the product to other people. I started overcomplicating it. I was trying to learn more what Dr. Nugent was saying, to even just say it to my partner or my mother-in-law. And what happens was I was information dumping on people and they were pulling away. But when I made it nice and simple, and I talked about like the aloe, and I had no idea that like aloe in the store is nothing like the grade of aloe that Manitech uses and what it does. And that I kept it simple. And, I just shared my use of the products, right? I just want to look at some of these comments. Doug said, you are nailing it. Thanks for taking the pressure off. Yeah, you do not have to be an expert to do this. And in fact, it's to most of your detriments, not to your growth. And for one, it's stalling your growth because you think, I need to be in a long learning period before I can execute. You have to execute along the way. That's where you're actually going to learn. Do you know where you're going to learn more of this information from and learn information to share with your customers that they actually want? By sharing a piece of information and them asking you questions and you saying, I don't know, Sally, but let me go check that answer for you. And guess what? Now you have that answer to say to the next person, but you're getting closer and closer to knowing the information that your customers actually want to hear, not the whole scope of what you think they need to know. Arlene said, my biggest decision is what to launch: my business, weight loss, overall health, gut health, skincare. I know, pick one, then do it. Of course, you do just need to pick one and do it. But that right there, what a great question to post on social media. Remember, you are the hostess. If you were walking down, I like the airplane analogy for me right now. If you were walking down the airplane, right, and you're asking people, do you say, okay, so Doug, you're going to have the roast beef sandwich. Amanda, you're going to have the veggie wrap. Or do you say, what would you like to order? What interests you off this menu? It's about them. So post, Arlene, to your social media page and say, hey, everyone, I'm thinking, I'm going to be doing a spring challenge. And I want to hear from you. What are you most concerned with right now? Financial, like wanting to build your financial wealth? Are you interested in weight loss and fat loss? Just your overall health? Are you wanting to improve that? Are you interested in your gut health or skincare? Which one speaks most to you? There you go. And as you get your answers now, because remember, this is part of the launch. When we talk about that pre-launch sequence, that question, that's to find out the information so we can deliver exactly what our customer wants. You have a business menu. And maybe that's something you write down those topics and ask all the time, what are you most interested in? You could be talking to somebody one-on-one, and you could this isn't even what we were really talking about today, but you could go on like Canva or something and make like what looks like a menu that when you're talking to a lead and a customer, you could say, okay, so tell me about, what's coming up for you? What is something a part of your life and your health that you're looking to explore? What drew you to wanting to connect with me? Sometimes people don't even know where to start. That's when you could pull something out like this and go, well, here are some different topics and different areas that we really cover at Manitech. We have things to support your gut. We have things to support your overall health. We have skincare. We have, sleep. We have this, we have that. Of this list, what speaks to you? Right? Sometimes if someone says, what do you want for dinner? I don't know, until you see a menu, because people need choices. Right? And so then that can be something that you offer to them and go, well, on this list, and that's great for somebody maybe you're talking to, if you're doing any sort of group setting, whether it's online or in person. If somebody doesn't know where to start, you can say, well, of these, which interests you most? They may not have a dire need for skincare, but they may look at the list and go, well, I think out of these, like I guess probably I'd say my skin. Great. Why don't we start you on 1 to 2 products just to start, and let's see how it goes from there. Right? Let's see some of the results that you're getting from this. And then we can continue to help you build out a regime that really works for you. And if you find along the way, as you learn more from me about the different areas at Manatech that we can help you with, we can add in additional products from those as well. As we get to know each other. Okay, great. Right? Keep it simple, offer choices. But again, this is about you being the host of the business, not the expert, not the pilot, not the scientist. And so when we think about what should I be doing online and what should I really be doing in a day, is that relationship building. Joellen said we always have felt like a librarian or a concierge, pointing people to things that interest or excite them. Yeah, that's what it's about. Right? You're not responsible for knowing all of this. So when we look at, okay, so my success online in, a overview, like high scope sort of way, is this combination between expertise and personality. How do I implement that? So one of the things I talked about on Thursday, was to use the social media studio for the expertise component. So that once a month, you could go on to social media studio and you could schedule some posts out. You can do, if you follow roughly the 80-20 rule that Martha so beautifully reminded us of last week, 80% should be like your personality and 20% the expertise. Right? And so you can use something like the social media studio where once a month you sit down, you grab some posts, whether you're creating them yourself or you're using a template or anything like that, and you can schedule those throughout the month. Maybe you do 3 of those a week. Okay, so in like a 4-week month, you're looking at scheduling 12 posts. Realistically, you could probably do that in about an hour. 1 hour, sitting down, especially on the social media studio, because it is templated out and you can go like, oh, I just like this post. Great. I'm going to use this as is, and I'm going to get that posted. Right now, you have that going in the background and those posts are already going up. Now my daily job is to infuse my personality. So when we look at our personality and what do I need to do every day, there's 3 main areas I want us to focus on. Number 1 is show your face. I encourage you, and I said on Thursday, I think this would actually be a great training. And so maybe this is something we can do next week. I'll kind of think about it, but I would like you guys to do an audit of your social media. Okay. And so that's why I'm thinking this could be a great training on how to like do a good audit of your social media. But for the meantime, all I want you to do is I want you to scroll through your social media and go, how many times does my face appear? How many times do people get to see me? Versus how many times am I only posting, things that have nothing like that maybe don't have to do with the business, which is fine, of course, like we want to even that out. But a lot of people, what they do is they share either a business post, like, look at this product, or, we just launched this, and then inspirational quotes. So I see a lot of people do on their page, right? But where is you? So I want you to look at that and go, how many times do I show up on my page? When's the last time? And I want you to get the date. When's the last time you did a Facebook Live? When's the last time I did a Facebook Live? So we'll talk more about showing your face means. The second one that you want to do every day is engage in comments. Okay, so you want to engage with the commenters on your own post. So anytime that somebody's commenting on something you've posted, but then also to comment and engage on other people's posts. That's an important part of your daily work on social media. That's going to help build that connection. And we've talked about before, social media is all about gamification in a variety of ways, right? So, number one, in order to get more people to comment, we have to, and I think this, I wish I had a pen right beside me. Oh, I do. It's right here. I'm gonna get a sticky note. Okay. I'm gonna write down some of these topics that come up that I think are important. I think about. So an audit, great training topic for us. Number two, gamification. How do I really post content that is rooted in gamification so I get more comments? This is things like the example we used for Arlene, a multiple choice question. People like to engage in this or that, or yes or no, or pick one. They like to do those sort of things. And what's awesome is on social media, in Facebook stories and Instagram stories, there's actually stickers that you can use that allow people to tap on, this one or that one, or there's a quiz one. There's now a multiple choice one too, that when you click it, it'll show you the percentage of how many other people selected that. Very similar to the poll, but you have multiple options, right? And so there's a whole bunch of those. So like call to action buttons. And I think that we can talk specifically about that as well. And so it's important that, and like I said, we think about gamification for comments, but we also have to think about it in the algorithm, right? We talked about the more you engage and show up on other people's posts, the more Facebook or Instagram is going to reward you for your behavior. I remember someone asked a question when we were talking more about Instagram, and they said, I get more interaction from my personal Instagram than I do from my business one. And we talked about, like, of course, what kind of content should be on your Instagram business page and things like that. But I said, be mindful. I'm like, when you're scrolling and commenting on other people's things on Instagram, do you do it from your personal account or your business? And they answered, I do it from my personal account. And I said, so Instagram's rewarding you for your activity by going, I'm going to show your post to more people to reward you to stay on the app. So start doing that more often from your business account. Right? So look at more people's things. And so it's important to look at other people's content. And we'll talk about where to find that in a minute as well. And then DMs and follow-up, direct messages and follow-up. Your inbox should be the place where you spend a significant amount of your time to turn leads into customers and potential into profit. But let me be clear, even though this is a significant part, think about it as a secondary action. Hold on, I'm sorry. You can't woo, right, a lead until you got a lead, right? Your job is to be a lead generator. That's like your number one focus. Find the people. And then your second is build a relationship with those people and getting them introduced into Manatech, right? And so you have to be finding new people. This is what I said. I believe I mentioned it last week. Your group, your Facebook group, is one of the most engaging parts of social media. But you should spend more time outside of it. Why? Finding people to join it. It's about finding more leads and infusing more energy into the group. So these are the three main ones I want us to start with, right? We can build this over time and add in a few others. But for the most part, I want you to think of monthly, write this down, monthly, schedule my expertise posts. Get them done and out of the way. If you don't know what topic to go with, what are we going to do? I don't really know what I want to talk about next month. Post in the chat. What are you going to do if you don't really know what to talk about on social media? So a 3-letter word if we want to make it super simple. Tony got it. Ask. Ask your friends. Ask. Just ask. And if you're not getting, excuse me, any bites on your post, go message a customer. Go message a friend. Hey, I'd love your input. I love your opinion. Ask. Mastermind with other customers and team members. Just ask. It is not up to you to sit there and just be this like think tank by yourself. We all say it. The best part about being in a direct sales business is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. And we say that to potential recruits. And then what do? We go lock our office door and we think it's all up to us. We don't collaborate with our team, which doesn't foster a community of collaboration between each other. Joellen said Lone Rangers. You're all going on it alone. Look at your team. Go, how many people am I recruiting? Who are the new people here? Are there any new people here? And what's the retention of these people? When do I lose them? The Direct Selling Association did a focus group a number of years ago, and they connected with consultants who had joined a company, and they worked with a variety of companies and left within the first 90 days, and they interviewed them. Number one reason why they didn't continue past the first 90 days is that they thought the business was harder than they were told it was going to be. They left because they said, this is too hard. We have to make this nice and simple. Share info from Manatech. Show your face. Right? That's it. You are the hostess. You don't have to know how to make, or the waitress, you don't have to know how to make the meals. You just need to know how to show them the menu and take their order and then go deliver the information to them. That is your job. You're the middleman. You're the front of house staff, right? So these are the 3 areas. So let's kind of look at what these look like. And then I actually have a slide that, and of course it can be different for everybody, but just an example of like, how would this play out in a day? Okay. So number 1, show your face. Okay. And I'm also including within this your voice. So I mean showing you. Who are you? What is your story? So what are some ways that we can do that? Of course, Facebook Live. And I love when I asked, when's the last time you did a Facebook Live? Some of you said never. Some of you said last year. Some of you don't know. Facebook Live should be a non-negotiable, at least weekly for you. Right? If you really think about, I really like analogies. It helps me. But if you think about yourself being that like server, that waiter or waitress or whatever, if you don't go out into the floor and go up to the table and introduce yourself, you can't complain at the end of the night that you didn't make any tips because you didn't have any orders. It's like, well, you sat in the kitchen watching the chef try to make a meal because that's what you thought you had to learn. But no, I need you to go out there. Go talk to the people. We got this in the back. We don't need you to cook for us. That's not why you're here. It's why you didn't start your own supplement business. It's why you didn't go buy a farm in Costa Rica. Right? Right? All the more power to you if that's what you want to do. But that's not what we want to do. We want to partner with a company that's taking the work out of this for us. So all we have to do is see the people and collect the orders. Right? And so if you haven't been showing up on Facebook Live, honeys, you've been in the kitchen. And you go home and you complain. You got to get out there. That's on you. Stories, another great one. Facebook stories and Instagram stories. right? And on Thursday, I believe it was Mary who asked this question, and she's asked about, she said, I need to wear my glasses to be able to see people's comments, because I talked about when you're doing a Facebook Live engaging, and I think it'll be helpful to review a Facebook Live training as well. But she said, because I said, make sure that you're interacting with people there too. And we talked about the Thursday training was really great. So I suggest that you go back and watch it. I'd asked Ben exactly where to find that yesterday, because we were helping the lovely Amanda. And he had mentioned it's at social media suite.com, or yeah, social media. Here, let me go. Well, thanks, Shirley. I thought it was a good one too. Social media-suite.com. Okay. And so Ben mentioned too, he said, I learned by experience with Amanda that you must be logged out of the platform for the page to appear. So if you're logged in, it skips the page and goes straight to the platform. So all my trainings that I've done on Thursdays with Ben are there. Go watch the last one. It's really, really good. Okay. And so it really acts as kind of even an overview for this training. And we talked about the average like watch length of videos, and an engaged, we know average watch time on Facebook is about 10 seconds, but an engaged person will watch on average 60 seconds. 60 seconds of your Facebook Live. So I said, you better make sure that in that first 60 seconds, you tell them everything that you want them to know in a basic way. And then how do you continue the training? You go, okay, so you say like, this is what you need to know, and here's what you need. But for those of you that want to learn more about it, stick around, because I'm going to share the 3 tips or the 3 ways or the 3 reasons why. So you know that someone who's only going to watch 60 seconds here's the most important 60 seconds ever from you. And does this mean that Facebook Lives takes practice? Yes. Does this mean that I want you to now go sit in your office or at the kitchen table for the next 3 weeks trying to script out a perfect 60-second thing? No, because guess what? You're going to learn by trial and error. Show your face, ask questions. Don't worry so much about it. But there was a lot of really good stuff in there, so I suggest checking that out. But when Mary had asked about wearing her glasses, do you post in an IG personal page or business page? So that's a good question, because your business page shouldn't just look like products. What happens when people have 2, and I understand people wanting to. One, if it's personal, it's just strictly personal, right? You're sharing like your family, you're sharing photos of your grandkids, you're sharing pictures of your dog, whatever, right? And then on your business page, you're trying to assert yourself more as business. But you still have to do all these other things of showing your face and showing up and telling your story. It's not just a place to go, well, here I post all about me and my personality, and over here I only post about products and information and science, right? Your business page also has to have a fusion of that. But when Mary asked about she had to wear her glasses, and she's like, how far away can the phone be from me if I'm doing a Facebook Live? Because, if it's too far, I can't see anything. And I said, great question, because again, what I think a lot of us think is that a Facebook Live needs to be like, our phone is back, we're here, maybe we are in front of our counter or our kitchen island, and we have products beside us, and it looks like this whole production, right? Just be a talking head into your phone. In fact, lower production video, so you just holding your phone and talking, does significantly better than video where you are trying to make it look perfect and you're trying to set it up in a certain way and you are like trying to make it scripted. And, I want you to just go, I'm going to go live right now and click the button. I don't want you to go, okay, I'm going to do a Facebook Live tomorrow. So I'm going to set up a table and I'm going to ask my granddaughter to come over and I'm going to ask her to video me and I'm going to practice and I'm going to write down some notes and I'm going to, go get my hair done and all these different things. You're not putting together a television program. This is social media. And we know, in fact, that lower production video does better. Martha said, don't forget the lights. Yeah, you got studio lighting. Grab your phone, go stand in front of a window, and you will look amazing. I promise you. And that's all you need to do. It does not have to be an extraordinary production. Right? Because that, my friend, if you're wanting to actually be successful, right? We know the statistics that people are more likely to watch video on social media that seems like lower quality, right? Like just them and their phone versus this whole setup. So the fact that if you still feel compelled to do this setup is rooted in fear, not in growth, because growth tells you I can just click the live button and talk. Fear tells you I'm not enough. Nobody likes me. No one's going to listen to me. So I better make this look fantastic. That's what, or maybe it's, what's that Ben sent me? Hold on, I just clicked the link. Maybe try social media -studio. Is Amanda still here? I know Amanda was looking at it. So maybe she can help us out too. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be loading anything for me. Let's try maybe, if someone can try studio. So social media maybe it's studio. And he accidentally just put suite. That looks like it is possibly working for me. So I believe it's studio. It is studio. Okay, great. That message just accidentally wrote sweet in his chat. Right? Don just said powerful. Right? Your overthinking is not rooted in growth mindset or success or statistics or results. It is only rooted in fear and imposter syndrome and negative self-talk. And that will not serve your business. And it does not serve you either. So show up using Facebook Live. Use stories. Share your daily life. I gave an example on Thursday of if you want to talk about, let's use True Health as an example. And you're going, what kind of content can I share where I'm also showing my face? A great one could be to make a shake on Facebook Live. But I said, if you don't drink the shakes, then and if that's not what you're doing, then maybe that might not be the best place for you to start. But again, I don't want you to go, okay, now I need to go to the grocery store and now I need to buy all these different ingredients. I need to have my setup. No, show us what you already do in a day. Don't carve out extra time. Don't make your smoothie in the morning or your shake in the morning to go sit down and plan how you're going to do a video to share your shake later in the day. Just go live while you're making it. Good morning, everyone. This is how I start every single morning, making my True Health shake. It's nice and simple. This is all I do. Bing, bang, boom. Here's why I love it. Here's the success I've had from it. If you have any questions, send me a DM in your PJs, like Martha said. Right? Show you. You do not have to turn this into television programming. And when you think about, can I share what I already do in my daily life? If you're going to take Mighty Bears out all today and you haven't yet, hop on Facebook Live while you take them. Do a quick little chat about them. Pop them and move on with your day. It's not to add more time to your schedule in having to share content online or go live. I want you to implement it into what you're already doing. Show me what you do. It's why reality TV is so popular. And you may think, well, Lindsay, I'm not a Kardashian. I'm not a Real Housewife. Who wants to watch any programming about me? They do. You may not think your life is interesting, but nobody lives the day that Martha does, or that David does, or that Tony does, etc. So if I got to watch little parts of your day, it's all interesting to me, because you're all going to show me something that you take for granted that I'm going to learn. Simple, right? That's your daily life. And then written posts. If you want to share your story, if you're still feeling a little nervous with Facebook Live, though, I just encourage you to do it and know. I saw a quote the other day actually that said something, I'll butcher it, but something along the lines of to be great at, like, people are so afraid to be great at something because they're so terrified at being bad at it the first time they try it. And they had used an example of a figure skater from the Olympics and going, do you think the first time that this person tried this like triple axel jump or this, kind of spin, that they got it? No. Do you know how many times they have fallen more times on their tushy on the ice than they have ever landed a jump? Michael Jordan missed more baskets than he ever made in his career. You can't hold yourself back from success because you're so terrified at being bad at the first one. Guess what? It's not gonna be great. I'm just forewarning you. And even if it seems great, a year or two from now, when you watch it back, you'll be like, oh, that really wasn't actually that great. My first one, not great. Second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one, 10th one, not great. But I didn't let my fear of like looking like I didn't know what I was doing hold me back. It's why I'm 32 years old and I'm sitting here training all of you. Because I've done this and I've been so diligent and committed to failure that I've exceeded my expectations for success. You can't get to success without failure. So stop trying to skip all those steps. Stop trying to think tank your way through how you can make it perfect so you can avoid failure. I'm telling you right now, you will not. And I know those of you, especially, I think a lot of you are parents in this room. That is something that you taught your children. And you know this to be true. So don't put yourself on a pedestal and think that, but you should do it better and you should know it better. So how do we engage in comments on your own posts? So look at your own post. I don't care if you posted it like 4 days ago. You should be replying to every comment that somebody makes to you on your social media. Okay, number one, that's part of what you do every day. Now, you don't have to spend like 2 hours going back into all of time. The hope is that every day you're just responding to what, kind of happened the day before. But if you haven't posted in a while, don't go, well, I'll just wait for this until I start posting more, right? Stop doing that. Act in all these now. If that means you have to go back to something you posted 2 weeks ago, so be it. So be it. But just comment. Okay, another place on leads posts. So your current customers, maybe people you've talked to, comment on theirs, right? If you don't see them often in your newsfeed, just go into your inbox and look at who are some people that I have direct messaged maybe about the business. Click their name, go to their page, make a comment. This is stuff you can do literally while you're like watching TV or you're sitting outside having, a cup of like tea or coffee in the morning, or you do it while you're going to the bathroom, that floats your boat, whatever. It's mindless stuff, okay? So those are great for moments during the day when you're just kind of zoned out a little bit, okay? Just grab your phone, make a few comments. You can also comment on people's posts through hashtags. So if you're talking a lot more about like fat loss, for example, right now, just type in fat loss as a hashtag on Facebook or Instagram and go make some comments on people's posts. Right? Nice and simple. And post in groups. right? If you're a part of other people's groups or your own group, these are just some ideas of where you can comment, because I find sometimes people go, so a hashtag would look something like this. I'm gonna put that down. Hashtags for training too. Okay. And when you see that, it's called, well, the younger generation will see it as a hashtag symbol. I still call it oftentimes the pound symbol. And what it does is on social media, when you include that on Instagram or Facebook, it's like you're adding a tag to your post of a category that says this post is about gut health, right? And so that actually becomes the lettering becomes blue, which means you can click on it. So go try it out. Go to Facebook after, and Joe Mallory, I typed fat loss and you came up first. Amazing. Okay, so if you go look up fat loss on Facebook and you click on it, you go hashtag fat loss, you're going to be able to see other people's posts that have used the hashtag fat loss. Go comment on their posts. These, could be people that could be potential leads. You may find, oh, I love how this person talks about this. I'm going to share something similar to mine, right? It's multifaceted why we do this. But again, the more we engage on social media, what happens? The more we interact, the more we comment and we play the game. What does social media do for us? Post it in the chat. Yes, you can put it in the search field like you're looking for a person's name. Yep, exactly like that, Martha. Someone tell me what happens the more I engage on social media, making comments. Increases the algorithm. Yeah, increases the algorithm. It means you get more people viewing your content. Facebook is more likely to push out things that you do. Jerry said, what if the hashtag brings up other companies that also sell fat loss? Does that matter? Nope, absolutely not. They're just generic tags, so anybody can use them. And sometimes that may be helpful to see too what other companies are also using, right? Or you could go be extra, like, if you want to go an extra step is, maybe there's another company that's talking about fat loss products. Look at who liked that person's post and go comment on one of their posts. Right? It's called like mining for leads. But again, I think that's I wrote that down, hashtags, to talk about a little bit more in depth as well together. So that's definitely a way that you got to play, right? Don't overthink. Again, well, I don't know who to comment to, Lindsay. I don't care. Just start commenting. Stop overthinking it. You will learn over time, but just start doing it, right? Because the more you do it, the main reason outside of looking for the right person is that we're also triggering the algorithm, which is also a very important aspect to what it is we're doing. And so just go make comments. If you see something that you're scrolling your own newsfeed that you like, take an extra second to leave a comment on it instead of just going, that's nice, right? Engage with it just a little bit. Facebook wants you to do that. Okay, DMs and follow up. So we talked about this a few weeks ago, how to follow up with people on social media. If you weren't there for it or you want to revisit it, you can go back there. But who are people we need to reach out to, right? And spend time in our DMs with? Well, of course, our current customers, leads that we're in conversations with. If somebody new follows you on Instagram or adds you as a friend on Facebook, make sure you send a message. Hey, thanks so much for sending me this request. How did you find me? Are there any questions I can answer for you? Right? Just like if somebody came into your store, you'd say, hi, how can I help you today? Is there anything you're looking for? Right? Shirley said, I noticed more activity on my Instagram posts using hashtags. Yes, because because people can also follow hashtags. So say you're really interested in like fat loss, you can actually follow the hashtag fat loss so that when people use the hashtag, you're more likely to see their content. Right? Just like someone follows a page on Instagram or an account, you can also follow a hashtag. And so what's happening when Shirley's using hashtags is that there's people that follow those hashtags, right? And they're able to see her content a bit more. Patty said, so do you suggest doing the live in Facebook business page? No. Or a personal page, because the social media studio posts only go to Facebook business page or groups. Same question for stories, or does it matter? I'm going to say, rarely ever use your business page. If you want to schedule posts to go there, that's fine. I would schedule them to your group, and then you can also just post like organically to your personal page as well. And then it does schedule posts to Instagram too, correct? The studio? Yeah. Okay. The business page, unless you're going to pay to boost your posts, people are not really going to see them. Okay. And so that's just something to keep in mind, is that most of this should be done on your personal Facebook page, your group, and a business Instagram account. Those are your main 3 areas. Personal Facebook page, your private Facebook group, and an Instagram business page. Okay. Business pages, sadly, very dead organically. You just have to literally pay to play. You can also respond to other people's stories. So if you're watching stories of someone else, there's that bottom, right? You can comment. When you comment, say Tony posts a story on Facebook and it pops up for me. And at the bottom, there'll be a little, let me see, I don't think you'll be able to see though. Okay, so there's a story right here. Okay, I'm gonna unclick it. You can see how this down here, this little bar is here, right here, this gray one. This is where I can type a message in response to this person's story, okay? When I put a response in there, it is going to send her a private message, okay? So when you respond to a story, it's not like a post. It doesn't live like in a public sort of feed. It goes directly into their direct messages. So if you have somebody that is a lead or somebody that you want to be on your business, if they do stories, responding to it means that you can get into a one-on-one personal conversation with them. It's an easy way to start a conversation with somebody if you don't know how to reach out to them. I feel like we have so many things to keep talking about. I'm writing them all down on this sticky note for myself to plan out, because I also mentioned to you guys too, I'm going to be pre-recording a lot of training over the next few months, so that when I am, after I give birth, I'm going to be out for a little bit. And so then, but I still want there to be a lot of video training and content for you all while I'm gone. Okay. So these are also some other things I can do shorter recordings for. How do I know if my Instagram account is personal or business? If you go to your Instagram and you go to your settings, you'll be able to see what it is that you have. And you go to, I believe it's account. So if you go settings, then account, and you scroll to the bottom, it'll say like, do you want to like switch your account type? And it'll say, do you want to switch to a personal account or a business, or you can have a creator account. Okay, so creator or business is fine. All right, let's keep moving because we only have negative 60 seconds left. So David, Ben told me to apparently log out. But maybe we can ask Ben to do a quick little video of where exactly, to show us where those trainings live, because I'm not 100% sure either. So this is an example slide here for just an example of what this could look like, these 3 actions. Remember, so it's show your face, it's comment, and it's be in DMs. So in the morning, what you could do is just respond to comments and content that came in overnight. Okay, so you wake up, have your morning coffee, do your little morning routine, like if you do any sort of gratitude or Bible study or meditation, whatever, quiet time, have your time. And then go, okay, what happened over the evening? What did I miss? I'm going to make some comments. I'm going to check my notifications. And then you can also share a part of your morning routine. That's how you can show your face. This can be a photo, it can be a story, it can be a Facebook Live. For example, if you make a True Health shake every morning, that's great. In the afternoon, all right, now I'm going to check back in the afternoon, right? And those of you that are familiar with a power hour, have you ever heard about that? Doing a power hour? It's where you either work a dedicated hour on a task for your business, or you split it up into 4 15-minute segments throughout the day. I love using something like a power hour for social media. If you can split it up into 15-minute segments throughout your day, it makes it nice, easy, and manageable. And if you're not good at remembering to do it, set an alarm on your phone, right? Nice and easy. In the afternoon, you can respond to any comments that maybe came in from your morning post that you shared, and just comment on a few other people's content. In the evening, follow up with DMs with any of your commenters, people who have commented on your post, your leads, and your customers. Right? I like sending messages in the evening because I find more people are active in the evening, so more likely to respond in a shorter time period to your message. And also be sure to show your face again. It could be a story, which takes half a second to do. It could be a Facebook Live. You don't have to do Facebook Live every day. Or it could just be a post, because we know that social media engagement peaks at 9 p.m. It could even be something like showing your evening routine. If you use the skincare products in the evening, show me it. And guess what? What's awesome is that you can actually show me almost the same thing every single day if you want to. You could go live every day in the morning and show me your shake. You could go live every evening and show me your skincare routine. On Thursday, I said, let's take Dove as an example. Do you think Dove makes a new commercial for every single day of the week? Absolutely not. First of all, the money that would take. But second of all, they know it's not smart. Why? Because repetition is key. The more people see the same thing over and over again, it compels them into action. They start to learn the brand more. They become more familiar. And so when it's time for them to make a choice, they're more likely to select yours because they've seen it consistently over time. You don't have to overcomplicate and come up with new things to be awesome every single day, or new things to do. If every day all you really do with Manatech is you take your supplements in the morning, you have a True Health shake, and you use the youth line at night, then show me that every single day. And you'll notice your sales for True Health go up, your sales for skincare go up, and your sales for the supplements you use go up. Because you're showing me you're taking them every single day. And every day you are compelling me more and more to pay attention and make an action and make a decision. So don't overthink it. Don't go, I just did this yesterday. I just told everyone, guess what? We know the average watch time on a Facebook Live is how long? 10 seconds. If they're super engaged, up to 60 seconds. Do you really think that everyone who follows you has watched you wash your face and just remembers to, even if they did, even if everybody on your social media watched you wash your face or show what products you're using to wash your face at night, do you think that they're going to remember what it is that you did? No. Show them every night. You're reminding them, be consistent, use the product. You're also showing them what a great value it is, because they're not going to buy a product and it's not going to stay under their kitchen cabinet or in a supplement drawer or in their bathroom vanity until the next time they got to clean it out, and they throw it out and go, I wasted all this money buying this product I never even used. Your repetition also encourages your current customers who have the product to use it. Oh yeah, I forgot I had that. Oh, I didn't realize I could put that in my, in my shake. Maybe start putting Manipul in your, share that, like put it in your shake. You'll be surprised how many more sales you get from Manipul. Or people who've bought it are suddenly starting to use it more often, right? And then late night. and late night maybe being like, before you decide, like, I go tech free before bed, just, check what's going on, right? You can do a little, like, maybe a few comments. You could do, did anything come up I need to pay attention to? You could check your analytics if you want to. I suggest doing that. You can do that on a monthly basis. It doesn't have to be a daily, even weekly basis. Just seeing, how did I perform this month on social, right? You can see that all too in the social media studio. But like I said, a lot of, and this is why I love first thing too, checking comments, because a lot more activity online happens in the evening. And if you sign off for the night, that's okay. But in the morning, just know, okay, I need to kind of see what happened while I was offline. And these can all take anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes, right? It could just be something you say, like, I'm only going to do this for 5 minutes. And I promise you that 5 minutes of intentional effort is going to have a great impact. So just something, I just Googled these. Okay. So just as an example, if you don't want to even go live, let's say, to share like your shake, this could be something that you post every morning. Just a picture of you. Literally, you can just hold your shake in one hand, take a picture like this, boom, and post what you put in it. True Health, vanilla. I put almond milk, ice, and a pack of Glyco Cafe, whatever it is you want. Okay, and that's it. That's it. It doesn't have to be big, but by posting this every single day, repeatedly, people start going, I think I need to get shakes. Tony's posting shakes every day. Martha's posting shakes every day. These look really good. Now I'm going to reach out to her. This was just an example of like skincare. Show your skincare at night. You don't have to like, what's a commercial? Is it Neutrogena when they like splash their face and it's very unrealistic face washing? You don't have to actually even wash your face. You can do it before or right after. Hey guys, I'm just about to wash my face right before bed. So I just want to show you the 3 products that I always have. I use this one first. I use this one second. I use this one third. Here's why. And then that's it. Right? But
Hey, Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
I'm not coming on screen because I just got off my bike, but I thought I could tell you guys where to find the trainings that you were looking for.
Awesome.
Okay, so where I go, if I go into my Manitech site and then I go into social media studio, I think it's called.
Okay.
What would happen is I'd automatically be right into the whole program. So what I learned from Ben is if over on the top right, there's just looks like a little Manitech insignia sort of thing. If you click on that, it gives you the option to sign out. And so if you sign out, the next time you come in, you're going to come to the beginning page. And at the top, you'll see webinars and you'll see video trainings. And that's how you can get in. And what I find is I have to log out every single time to get back to the trainings. So it's simple. They're there.
Okay, awesome. And I can always too ask Ben, definitely do what Amanda just said, but I can always ask him too if we can also include those trainings in where my weekly trainings live too, right? So we can kind of all look at one place. But thank you so much, Amanda, for that. And so definitely everyone go check that out and see, practice navigating there. Quickly, I know we're over time, so I appreciate all of you. Just, going on a walk could be something you show every day. If you go on a walk every day, show it. I'm not asking you to create more content. I'm just saying, show us what you're already doing. Okay. Nice and simple. These are some of those like question boxes that I talked about. So right here, the yes or no, what is your favorite product? You can use these stickers in your stories. We'll do a training just on that, but that's like gamification, right? That's getting people involved, but don't wait for the training. Just click around and see what happens. And we're not going to go through those because we don't have time, but it's not a big deal. They were just extra examples. So do we feel like we're understanding a little bit more in how we can show up and how we can focus more on our personality? If all you walk away with today is like, I am the waiter, my job is front of house, I'm not cooking these meals, I'm not flying this plane, My job is to serve the people. And if I don't know what they want to eat, I'm going to ask them what they want to eat. How much better is that? It's easier for both of us. I don't have to sit there and guess, and you get exactly what you want. That's all it is. And go take an audit of your social media. Go look, when's the last time I did a Facebook Live? And when I ask you next week when the last time you did a Facebook Live was, I hope you said it was this week. Because don't be afraid to suck at it, because you probably will. You will not die. You will not combust. You will survive. You will move on. If you think it was bad, don't rewatch it. Just move on from it. Go, I'm going to try that again another time. But I'm going to let that live because you're your harshest critic. Someone else may watch it. I'm sure I would watch it and go, that was great. Right? So don't worry so much. You guys are amazing. Step into growth, not into fear. Stop living there. Stop overthinking. Stop trying to think that you need to go get a doctorate before you can build this business. Go be the most amazing host and hostesses ever. Have an amazing Saturday. Thank you for going over time with me. I appreciate you immensely, and I will see you all this week.
Thank you, Lindsay. Bye, everybody.
You're so welcome. Bye, friends.